There we go. Guys, Jeff here. Thanks for jumping on, taking a look at this. I got Travis and Nisa Ferris here with us. So they're here in Colorado Springs right now, but probably missing Hawaii a little bit at this point. Are you missing Hawaii right now? Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, but been in real estate for about 8 years, and they've got a great story. I just want to get them telling their story a little bit, and they just joined us over here at EXP. So, welcome aboard. It's good to have you with us for sure. So, talk a little bit about it. Thank you. It's good to be here. So, talk a little bit about it. Tell your story a little bit. When you got started, what that was like. You know, go ahead. Why don't you guys jump in and tell what's going on?
Yeah, no. So we've been in Hawaii since about 2006, and in 2007 wrapped up college, entrepreneurial studies, international business at Hawaii Pacific University, and actually we were both cheerleaders on the cheer team for scholarship.
Okay.
So that's where we met each other. Went through school, got out and finished that up in about 2009, 2010, and just with being in Hawaii as long as we were at, we didn't really want to start over. So we had all of our networks and everything kind of built up there. And I actually bartended through college and then jumped right into the business realm. So we kind of figured out what we wanted to do, what we didn't want to do. And then I started in real estate. And where did you start?
So yeah, same thing. I was working in the hospitality industry in Hawaii, and he was getting licensed, and I wanted a more steady job, but I wanted to learn the business. So I got into title and escrow, and I worked for title and escrow probably for about 2.5 years, where I learned so much customer service, a lot of marketing and transaction coordinating. So I kind of learned the back end of the business. Mm-hmm. And when Trav, his first year, he had a really good year. He had some really good mentors. You were at Keller Williams at this time.
Yeah, started at Keller Williams. It was actually mom and pop shop Keller Williams. Somebody from Maui actually had it out in Hawaii, and it wasn't, the Keller Williams that we know of.
Okay.
Now.
Okay.
So.
But pretty much he was doing really, really, really well, and he needed a coordinator. It was kind of one of those things where he was just, when you're getting started, all you're trying to do is, lead generate and get business going. And the next thing you know, he's like, I have like over a dozen in escrow, and I don't really know how to, push it through. And so that's when we kind of joined forces together and created the team.
Yeah. So that's what she came on board at that point. Keller Williams, mom and pop shop, went to a actual mom and pop shop from there, to where we didn't have all the restrictions, and there was a bunch of stuff kind of going on, but that's where we actually started to really kind of get our pace down. And then when we ended up at a different place, that was kind of the first independent, more innovative type brokerage that we were at. And that's where we started building the team. So we really started building the team probably 2013, started bringing on agents, growing it. And, just to be straightforward, we were like, take over the world mentality. That's, young, hungry, ambitious, which we still are, but I think we have a lot more wisdom now than we did then. And it was just try to crush the world. How are we going to do this? And after we grew the team to a certain point, we were like, okay, well, natural progression, we're supposed to open up our own company. Like, that's what people do. There must be money out there in that. And I think to everyone else's advice to where they were like, no, don't, we had to kind of go through those learning lessons. And I mean, it was probably one of our greatest learning lessons in life, because we walked away from there with, 20 plus years of business experience, to be straightforward. So yeah, we ran our own Realogy franchise for about 3 years. And after seeing behind those curtains, those margins, seeing where the world is going and where technology is going, we had some huge differences on where we were going and where, we feel Realogy is kind of headed. And we basically saw that there was a big discrepancy there. So after 3 years of that and the pain and suffering and learning that we went on there, we went to a Century 21 that we were friends with the owners, and to wrap up basically our business for Better Homes and Gardens that we were at. So, and then from there, again, because right when we popped over there, we were super transparent. Like, we're not fans of Realogy. We like the owners, but we're not fans of Realogy in terms of where the world is going. And from there, that is kind of when we came across. So EXP is what it is. I think each state probably has a different reputation or what they think or perceive EXP as. And as running your own brokerage, you kind of know all the competition. And so I knew the ins and outs of KW, Remax, all the Realogy brands, and EXP with some other ones there. And it was like, yeah, it sounds good. Sounds okay. You know what I mean? It was, but when I actually, after running our own brokerage and then looking like taking a triple, double, quadruple look at what EXP is, which EXP is a beautiful skeleton. It was exactly what we were looking at doing, because there were some things that we really enjoyed and were passionate about as far as running our own brokerage, you know, training, mentorship, branding, marketing, you know, building and innovating the business the way that we want to. But there's obviously huge cons with, you know, building office space, permitting, legal, forms, PB, expenses, overhead, to where when we finally looked at EXP and we're like, hey, if we took that and we were able to plug what we were doing before, I think there's a beautiful situation, which it is. It's super cool, innovative. It's, you know, when we're talking to people, we're not recruiting at all. It's a share. And we're kind of coming from you know, there's a lot of people there at EXP, and I'm sure there's a lot of people that recruit. We come from the angle of people that are potentially looking at opening up their own brokerages, and we're talking to them and saying, hey, whoa, before you do that, you need to double check this. And that's kind of where we're going, is kind of hitting those people that are teetering on opening their own brokerage or not. And that's where we're coming and just saying, hey, look, we went down that road. You know, we know what it looks like. Again, huge learning lessons. We took our ego and just, you know, put it in a nice box and put it in the closet. So
I just can't imagine.
So
right now, I mean, you know, and we're recording this on April 21st. I mean, just so we say that, because of what we're in right now, we're all in quarantine. You know, there might be somebody watching this video a year from now, but, you know, different world. Hopefully we'll be back to normal by then. But I can't imagine right now. I think about like just the costs and the stresses and the headaches of having a brick and mortar brokerage right now with what we're going through. I mean, what, you know, I think about some of these guys. I'm friends with a lot of them. They've got to be losing sleep at night. You know, I mean, just wondering what this is going to look like, you know, coming out of this. I mean, can you imagine that? Seriously. How long,
Totally.
how big of a team did you have before you were building a team back, you know, with Realogy and stuff? What was the biggest your team ever got with them?
10.
I think the biggest we probably ran was 10. So we did the mega team model where we just, you know, buyers agents, listing agents, and then we ram jammed. And really from that perspective is when we were starting to see that certain models don't allow you to grow a team the way you want to, or it's not profitable. Right. So in all of the models that we were in, that it just, you know, we were selling, you know, $50 million a year, but our margins on profit were like going like this.
Yeah, they're shrinking.
And so that's when we were really like, you know, what are we doing? So we actually got leaner and meaner. And for anyone who's run a team or a brokerage, you know, there's turnover, people move, you know, people get pregnant and start families. So things happen to where we started to shift, and we probably got down to a 4 or 5 person team, and we were doing the exact same amount of business. And I think from there is when we started to see like, well, what else can we cut out in terms of overhead and things that we were spending money on? And, you know, at the end of the day, so much of our funds went to these corporate franchise fees and these other type of fees that we're feeding these companies, when we could have been putting that money back to the consumer, back into our team. We could have just been doing so many other things with it. When you're part of a brokerage, a lot of times it's, you know, they're pushing the culture. You need this culture. That's what you're paying for. You're paying to be part of this family. And what we were seeing was that we could build the culture and still shrink expenses, which, I mean, a lot of like older school models don't really agree with that. And so we were definitely looking into expanding into Colorado because it's booming here. And we've been on island for 15 years, and there's only so much business to go around in Hawaii. I would say there's about 12 of us on island that are just doing the same amount of business every year. I mean, the number one agent in Oahu is doing like $100 million a year, and there's like team members on the mainland that are doing that alone on these bigger mega teams. So we're like, let's just go explore. And that's another reason why EXP to us was just the perfect fit, because this bi-coastal business planning concept of being able to set up your team and then actually focus on other things was just crazy, because everyone that we were meeting in Hawaii who was running teams and running brokerages were still so heavily in the business because they needed to be in order to pay their expenses.
Right.
To where this model, we were like, wow, there's actually people who are stepping away from the real estate sales and still helping people buy and sell, but are also focusing on other things.
Sure. What was
Sorry,
I mean, and you, yeah, it's awesome. No, and you hit several things along the way here. Like, what were a couple of the things, like just some of the biggest appeals of EXP when you really, because you didn't make an overnight decision on this. Obviously, you don't do that. I mean, when did you first see this model, EXP? How long ago was it?
So,
You remember when
I think
Probably 2 years ago.
I mean, we came across it a couple of years ago.
Okay. Okay.
We actually know, it was really funny because we actually knew the people that basically brought it to Oahu.
Okay.
And we kind of heard about it then. And then over the past couple of years, like, again, people would try to recruit us. And so we'd know it, we'd learn the model. And then as far as the broker owner, this is where we started to have discrepancies, is because I would literally have people come into my office, be like, hey, Travis, I want to talk about splits, blah, blah, blah. I'd have to shut the door and I'd have to go over our value proposition. And we did that for 3 years. And the last year, this is where we started to have that issues, because we'd be done with the meeting, they would leave, and I'd close the door, and me and Nisa would look at each other, we'd be like, I'm starting to agree with them. I'm not feeling good. Like, the value proposition is not adding up the way it is. And, for me personally, because I was broker owner, but still selling, was it in one of the years, either like, I think in 2018, we're talking the tune of $200,000 or $300,000 that I paid the company, AKA like paid into the company. And it wasn't really getting, I wasn't getting leads. I wasn't getting much. We were paying for office space and a lot of that, but it's like $200,000 or $300,000 extra that could have come. What could you do with that? And so that was the thing. It's, that's where we kind of knew about the EXP model, is, again, people come in and saying they're exploring it, what it is, what are you getting? And that was the thing, is we've always been a company within a company. So even before we opened up our own brokerage, we had our own TC, our own branding, marketing, lead gen, CRMs. We always functioned ourselves. And that's where it was like, okay, well, EXP, and this is, I was kind of thinking, because I think Colorado has had a little bit of EXP turnover in the past time. And it's kind of one of those things where EXP is what it is. And it's I tell all my agents in our organization, hey, this is not a place that you bring a brand new agent and you throw them, even though there actually is quite a bit of value that I wasn't expecting from EXP corporate, like nationwide. Mm-hmm. But it's still a place that you want to be careful as far as bringing brand new agents right out of the box and saying, hey, try this place out. You know what I mean? You got to make sure that you have some of the foundation, some of the training, mentorship, and things like that, to where we're doing those things. We're bringing those things to where when people plug into EXP with us, they're getting that. They're getting the training, mentorship, branding, marketing, lead gen, to where, again, in Colorado, and I'm sure it's the same thing with you, and we'll be probably linking up quite a bit, is we're going to change EXP for what it is. Like, absolutely. Like, the organization, like, when people plug in with either of us, there's going to be a lot more going on there than people have, I guess, experienced in the past. And that is, it's kind of the same way that money magnifies, I think EXP magnifies. So if you're an agent not doing anything, not plugging in, and you plug into EXP, it's going to magnify that you're an agent not doing business, not plugging in. If you're an agent that is crushing, doing things, proactive, plugging in, and you plug into EXP, you're absolutely going to get that value. You're going to get the lead gen, the prospecting, the leadership, mentorship, as long as, again, that's the agent that you were before. So that's what I've noticed about EXP. It kind of magnifies whatever you are. So again, if you're a junk agent, it'll make you more of a junk agent. If you're a great agent, it'll make you a greater agent.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Very true. And one of the things I've seen, having been here now for 2 years, I mean, the changes that they continue to make and the progress they're making just as a company, I mean, the value has just gone from here to here. Like, they've got that whole Fast Start series now that just started here a couple, months ago. perfect for new agents. 2 weeks intensive training, like how to get your business like moving and up and running, like as a brand new agent. The mentorship program has grown leaps and bounds. Like, great for old agents like me, 18 years in, great for, whatever guys like you. I think it's a fit for everybody, but you're right. It still takes a unique person to be an agent. You've got to have some get up and go, and there's so many people go get their license. Oh my God, hottest market in the country. And they go get their real estate license. They don't realize, like, wow, now I got to actually go work. Oh wait, I didn't realize, it's like,
Totally. Absolutely.
You're going to bust yourself, being a realtor, no matter what company you're in,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I was just going to say it's the plug-in as well, because it's like we're in Hawaii and Colorado, and right when I was plugging into EXP, you know what I mean? We have people reaching out in Hawaii, but like right when I came on board on EXP stuff, like I didn't have, you don't have people like reaching out and saying, hey, here. Not really. You have your upline, which again, you should be strategic on who you align with. But right when I went into Workplace and plugged in, then that's the key. You have to plug in. If you're not plugging in, you're not going to get what you're thinking. But the second you plug in, I contacted the managing broker for the state. She was on it. She got me everything I needed because we were signing a listing. And I was like, hey, whoa, I'm a new agent. I'm signing a new listing. What do I need? I actually asked you as well for some of the stuff.
Yeah.
And she got me all the stuff I needed, all of the guidelines and stuff like that. But I had to plug in. And that's the same thing when people come here, you have to plug into the systems to then get it back. What were you going to say? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, I'm just processing it all too on the concepts of a lot of the, I don't want to say negative, but a lot of like, I guess the red flags when people hear about EXP2 was when we were hearing about it, we were, there's this vibe that it's just like this recruiting type company, which, I mean, again, we owned our brokerage for 3 years. That's all Realogy and these corporate models are pushing out. They're saying you need to talent attract, you need to recruit. It's not so open about it. And they're not providing incentives to the agents. All the incentives are to the people who are running the company. So to me, I was just like, well, we were doing that anyway. So why wouldn't we just continue to talent attract and provide value to other agents and just do it in a different way and in a fun, tech savvy, mobile way.
Every company out there, every business out there, they want to grow their business. They want to increase their business. I mean, that's business 101. I don't care what you're in, but every real estate company out there does exactly the same thing. We do get, and we hear that. I've heard that. Oh, you guys are just a recruiting company. I mean, it's literally 5 to 10% of the agents are recruiting. A lot bring their one friend with them when they come over, but it's very few that go beyond that. When you really look at the numbers. So most people are coming over because of the training. I've never seen training like I've seen here. There were 158 classes last week. I don't know if you saw that or not, but 158 classes last week to pick from. Like there's not another real estate company out there across the country that had 158 live training classes last week that you could access from your phone, your tablet, your laptop, anywhere because of the system. We were so set up for what we're going through right now. It's phenomenal. What can I ask? Like when you guys, again, at your peak in Hawaii, like what kind of volume did you guys do? Like your team, your brokerage, like what did you guys do like on an annual basis? What was your biggest year? Do you know off the top of your head?
So team wise, not as many transactions, and that's where we'd always be super impressed with mainland stuff as far as hearing teams doing 500,000 transactions.
Right. Your
number one team on Oahu or basically in Hawaii is doing 120, maybe 130 transactions a year.
Sure.
And so on our peak, personally, we did, I think like 80, 85 transactions and like 45 million in production.
Okay.
And that was basically 2 years. We had a team of basically 10 and we did like 45 million. And then we basically cut the team down to 4 or 5 agents. And then we did basically the same production for about 45 million with that.
That's usually how it is. You've got a handful of agents to kind of carry the whole team, whatever, or tend to, do the biggest bit of
absolutely.
All, for sure. So now coming to Colorado, I mean, I know you've got family here, right? I mean, that it's booming here. That was one thing to come here, but you've also got some family here, I believe, right? Your mom, somebody's mom. Your mom is here. Okay. So there's multiple reasons to come to Colorado. What would be like where do you see this going for you guys? Like, or what would be your goal 5 years from now, 3 years from now? where would you want to have your business? I mean, you're still operating in Hawaii. You've got your license over there. You're here.
Yep.
You know, what do you see, just overall big picture for you guys? What does this look like 3 years from now?
So we're growing our own organization within the Skeleton, and it's called The Collaboration. That's literally what it is, and we're bringing agents from across the country. Ultimately, what we're doing right now is we're trying to go and find like strategic partners. So AKA, because we actually kind of hooeyed up with a buddy and another team in Hawaii that they crush business. And so we're trying to basically find not necessarily a version of ourselves, but kind of that critical strategic partner in most of the states that we want to function, because we know people across the country, we have family across the country. So that's kind of where we're trying to grow this, is kind of nationwide, but not, again, like 4 or 5 years ago, I used to probably say like I wanted to have an office location all over. It's not necessarily that same way. It's kind of functioning, but again, it's being across the nation, having strategic partners and point of contacts for basically anywhere we need to go. And then we have actually some cool app ideas that are actually in motion that we've been working on. That's kind of a side thing. And what the model that we have now is going to be a perfect fit for this tech app that's going to be coming down the pipeline as well, to where we can actually utilize our partners in that to do some fun, interesting things.
And we're just providing value to agents right now, and that's really it. We didn't have a super traditional career. We kind of went really super heavy, and within like 4 or 5 years, we did a lot of sales really quickly, and it just kind of got to the point where we wanted more, and that's why we started the company. So for this, we really get to focus on providing value to the agents that are coming in under us. We can provide leads, our whole entire database to Hawaii right now. We're pretty much pushing down to our team and our downline. And here too, we could just, it's really about providing value to agents and making a wave in the industry of the way that we behave to each other, the way that we behave to the consumer. We're just changing, and we want to be a part of that positive change. And I think for us, that's really kind of where we want to take this.
Yeah, absolutely.
This model.
Yeah, I think just to be straightforward, and we've been in a lot of interviews and probably come across way too transparent, but the real estate industry is up for an overhaul. 30, 40 years functioning very similar with not a lot of changes. There's time, and there's people starting to come and push it and progress it. And to be frank, this is the thing about EXP, like not a sales pitch. And again, we advise and we don't sell. And the same thing with, we attract, we don't go and recruit. EXP is the best place to be at as far as being ahead of the curve.
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of the companies will do a last ditch effort to come and replicate what EXP is doing, but a lot of them, again, just talking about Realogy, they won't be able to. So if Realogy acquires an innovative company, they literally can't even diffuse it down through their systems. The same thing, even if Realogy said, hey, we're going to copy EXP and do what they would do, they'd be bankrupt, in 30 to 60 days. So as far as being ahead of the curve, there's no better place to be than EXP with the mobile, cloud-based everything. But I think that there might even be some, changes or pushes to the industry, in 3, 4, 5, 10 years. 10 years, absolutely. But over the next couple of years, I think we'll continue to see changes or overhauls coming down the real estate industry.
Sure.
So
one thing just to share along that, I think that's kind of cool. And again, this comes from being here for 2 years now. And I know you guys are going to see this. And you've been here how long now? When did you join EXP?
EXP?
Yeah.
2 months ago, 3 months ago?
2 or 3 months.
Yeah.
Pretty quick. So I've been here 2 years. Here's one of the things that I love about this. I feel like because we're bringing in the top agents from all across the country. Number 1 and number 2 in their companies where they are now, they're moving in here. And that's just what's happening. Like every week, here comes another story. These big mega agents, big mega team owners. Revelation Real Estate, you heard about them, 900 agents, 6,000 deals last year, and they make the move to EXP 2 months ago. That stuff is happening now, like on a weekly basis. We're hearing stories like this. Here's what I love about this, and having been here, ever since I've been in real estate 18 years now, commissions have been under attack. They're always going to be under attack. I don't feel like real estate has done a good job of keeping up with technology, just like what you were talking about, which is why you've got the Zillows coming in and the Amazons coming, different things trying to disrupt it, whatever. And we all fight it. And I get it, whatever, but we haven't done a great job of keeping up. Well, then here comes Glenn and starts this cloud-based brokerage 10 years ago. We were just starting to buy our iPhones. I mean, very forward thinking, like Steve Jobs,
Totally.
like the Walt Disneys, like these kind of people. And I feel like that's who Glenn is. He's one of those guys, whatever. And I do feel like we're way ahead of the curve in terms of technology. But also, I think regardless of where the industry goes, you got that NAR lawsuit going on, different companies named in that, and commissions and all this stuff. And there's all this flux going on. I do think we're going to see changes, especially coming out of what we're in right now. But I think, too, what's going to happen, because we've got literally the top real estate minds in the country that are now in this company, we're going to be a step ahead of it all the way. I've been to a couple of the big events, and a lot of times they'll do this where they'll have like breakout sessions. Here's like the top, 100 agents in EXP, and not about like recruiting, none of that, just the top agents. And they're getting together and they're masterminding, and they're spending weekends together masterminding, not on the future of EXP, but the future of real estate. So I just feel like we're going to always be a step ahead of that. There's a peace of mind about that, being part of a company that is so innovative and forward thinking like that. Now, the other thing too that I would share with you guys, something to really consider, is the fact that, no matter what happens to real estate here in the US, our industry here is not the same as the UK. It's not the same as Australia. It's not the same as Germany, France, Mexico, Dubai, all these, the plan right now, we're going to be opening 4 and 5 countries a year for the next 10 years, whatever. Now that, again, we don't know all the ins and outs of that, but that's the plan. No matter what happens to our industry here, we're going to be getting paid on closings that are happening in the UK and Australia and all these other places because of this model and the fact that we can build international teams here without being responsible for them. I mean, that's one nice thing for you guys. You're not going to have to feed them all leads. You're not going to have to train them all. You're not going to have to, babysit everybody. I mean, it's a whole different model. It's a paradigm shift. And just so many things about this to me that just like, God, thank God I'm here. It's just, I'm excited about the thing. It's I've never seen anything like it before, So crazy stuff going on. But anything you guys want to wrap up with? I appreciate you getting on here. It's great to hear your story, and just to get to know you guys a little bit better. I mean, I am excited to have you in Colorado Springs. I mean, we're all going to be partnering up together and doing things together and growing this thing, So, but yeah, what would you want to say?
For sure.
Yeah, we're excited.
I was just going to say, you said excited. She says excited. After being in real estate and like, I'm talking 7 days a week, 365 days a year since the beginning of 2012, like 7-8 years, like nonstop, just grinding, you started to feel like monotony, like just that repetitive, like real estate is, I get up, I got to make my calls, I got to do my listing appointments. Like, and it just started to just kind of feel like blah. And I'm super passionate about real estate. So like when people get talking, like I get fired up and sparked up and I can start going all day about it.
Right.
But there was that just monotony in it. And you said it before, EXP says it, to where right when I popped into the EXP model, there was that like new, fresh structure to where like those coffee meetings where somebody called you up, that you'd be like a year or two ago before you'd be like, yeah, okay, I'll go grab coffee, sure, whatever. Buy me coffee, please. That type of mentality. Those are now exciting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And to where you go and you're now excited to take those meetings like, hey, man, I'm so glad we got to get coffee together. And it just did it. Like me and our team, Nisa's doing fantastic in it. But even our team, like, you can, when you're running a team, you can always say, like, oh, so-and-so think we're going to have some meetings. Like I can tell they're kind of like separating or closing off a bit.
Right.
We just saw every team member like kind of get fired up again as well. And that to me was exciting because I'm like, I'm excited. My team's excited. Everybody who's plugging into our organization, they're excited. And again, it changed real estate. And again, real estate always needs to be changing. And it was just super revigorating.
It incentivizes agents to take back the excitement of their business and to really like grow and help people where, you're not a slave to this big brick and mortar chained company anymore. And it really just it really brought our entire team back to life. We have a really younger team. A lot of them are just, you know, millennials and younger. And so this type of model is just so exciting for them. And there's ways for them to create passive income. And it's just like, it's just a win, 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 win for everyone, honestly.
Absolutely. And then, I mean, it's going into that as well. It's like, we would talk to people that be like, dude, I've recruited and brought on, you know, 20 or 30 agents into my company, and I got maybe a high five. Like, so it shouldn't change that at all, but it's, instead of all of that benefit going to, quote unquote, you know, well, I don't even know what you want to call it, the owner, like whatever you want to call them, you know, the manager, broker owner, whatever it is,
Franchises.
like, instead of it, all the benefit just going to them, like, it just puts it right back into all of the agents.
Right.
And, you know, you bring on 20 agents
Yeah.
at EXP, you're doing good.
So on the fact that we all get ownership, those millennials you're talking about, they're getting ownership in the company with every closing they have. You know, they're gaining ownership, and that's huge. You know, I mean, we preach it to renters all the time. You know, why are you renting? Buy a house, build your equity. You know, instead of your landlord's equity. But yet we spend our whole careers as realtors renting space underneath a broker owner.
Yes.
You know, underneath a brokerage, and
Yeah.
here to actually have ownership, it's a whole different deal. And because of that, because we're all owners and it's one nationwide brokerage, it's like the collaboration is, I've never seen it to this level before. You mentioned workplace. I love getting in workplace.
Yeah.
You can get any question answered that you need answered in workplace. You know, and you can collaborate with agents from all across the country and even other countries, you know, and work together. And we're all benefiting by helping each other. It benefits our brand. It benefits, you know, the stock, and we all have ownership in the stock. I mean, it's just like, it's a shift in thinking, you know, that I've just never seen before. I've got more relationships and friendships here, being here 2 years, than what I've had in 18 years of being in real estate, you know. And some people think, oh, there's no brick and mortar, that's just not going to work. It's like, oh, it works phenomenal, you know, and especially right now with what we're going through. My goodness. So
Totally.
anyway, but
Absolutely.
yeah, it's great stuff. So, well, I appreciate you guys jumping on. It's good to have you in Colorado, and I'm sure you're anxious to get back to Hawaii here at some point. We get back out.
Yeah.
So,
Colorado's cool.
yeah.
Just want to get the hell out of the house. That's it. So, yeah.
Okay. Can I ask you real quick? And I forget, how old are your kids? You have kids?
No
Oh, no,
kids.
just
You have no
dogs.
kids. I thought you had, okay, that's right. Okay, the dogs. Okay.
Yeah.
You asked me if I was
Yeah.
homeschooling. Yeah, our kids are beyond that. I thought, do you want to have kids down the road? Are there going to be any kids in the future? Is that a thought?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that was a motive for Colorado too. In Hawaii, the public schools are a little bit different than the Colorado schools, and private school is quite expensive in Hawaii, and we were just looking for, you know, being around family. So that was another reason why we're coming out this way. So
Right.
and they're building new schools like all over Colorado Springs. I can't even believe all the
Yeah.
building they're doing. So
Totally.
Growing like crazy. Well, one of the nice things about this too, because again, down the road, again, I think here's the thing about this, within 3 to 5 years here, everybody has options. You could still be doing 50, 60, 80, 100 deals a year if you want to. You could do that here easily. The training, the leads, all that stuff. I mean, everybody can do that. But you have options here. You know, right now there's one way to make more money in real estate, and that's do more deals. You know, but that's more of everything. That's more marketing cost. It's more lock boxes. It's more late nights on the computer. It's more of everything. It's more weekends away from your family. You know, and down the road when you have to be able to have those kind of options where, again, you've got multiple streams of money coming in from different sources with this company. You've at least, you know, you can pick and choose kind of how you want to set up life and do life with your kids. And you just don't have that. I didn't have that when my kids were little in a traditional real estate business and brokerage. You know, I was working like crazy, and my kids resented it. You know, I mean, it got to a point, it was ugly, you know, and I hit that burnout factor that you talked about, Travis. I mean, it just big time, you know. EXP kind of picked up on that. You go to any of their big events now, there's usually a big sign up there, EXP Realty, making real estate fun again, you know, and that is
totally
picked up. And for the 18-year-old realtor to the, you know, 8-year-old realtor to the, you know, just, we're seeing that across the board here, which has been nice. So anyway, well, guys, it's great to have you with us. You know, welcome aboard. 2 months in, big things are going to happen. A lot to look forward to. Let me just share this. You know, the guy that shared this with me, his name is Sean, right? Sean Sturck out of Dallas. Sean just had his third year anniversary as a realtor last Friday, a few days ago.
Awesome.
He got paid. He's getting paid this month on almost 600 closings because of his revenue share.
Gotcha.
Did you ever have a month when you got paid on
Amazing.
600 closings as a broker owner? Did you ever have that, Travis?
No.
600
I
closings.
think 12.
You know, but that's the beauty of this. I mean, he's getting paid on 600 closings, but he's not a broker owner, and he's been in real estate for 3 years. I mean, think about that opportunity. What does that look like 3 years from now?
Yeah.
You know, what's that look like 10 years from now? I mean, whatever. Like, oh my goodness, like the sky is the limit where this thing is going and beyond.
Absolutely.
Oh, for sure.
Exciting stuff. Well, guys, I appreciate getting on here. So thank you so much. Guys, you know, thanks for watching. Spread this around. Travis and Nisa Ferris, they're here in Colorado. They're out there in Hawaii doing some big things with EXP. So it's great to have you guys on board. Okay. Have a
Thanks,
good
Jeff.
day.
Appreciate it.
You got it.